This is Trendsetter of the Mind. If you haven't noticed by now, there's a grand awakening going on right now. I think it's been going on for several decades at least, but why I think it's culminating at this time in history is because so many people are becoming enlightened and seeing what government, banks, the whole system is in general. Before I get started with the deprogramming, I want to make clear that I don't have a bunch of fancy recording equipment. I don't have a mic. There's not going to be special effects. There's not even going to be editing. Our attention spans have been shortened on purpose for a reason, so I really hope you can stick with me. I'm a writer and I'm in the middle of my third novel. I don't have time to memorize a speech, so you'll see me looking at my notes every once in a while, but it's just what's most natural for me to get my message across. Otherwise I'll just be sitting here with my red bone coonhound and telling you the truth. Aye, and what truth might that be? I'm glad you asked. You see, it's not about the compulsory wearing of a mask, the mandatory vaccines that are coming, and in some places already starting with children in schools, or the instigated and staged looting coverage and false flag riots that are done, as per usual, by government operatives until the public itself is tricked because momentum has gained, and then they carry out the deception. Underlying all politics, it has always been about control combined with divide and conquer tactics. In our current era, most are portrayed as either thinking their liberties are being violated or they're quarantine shamed for putting others in danger. We are broken up into thinking Black Lives Matter or in agreement with the use of martial law so that the state can instill order, the state's version of order. We have to stop allowing ourselves to be put into the dialectic of the either-or box. Our rulers will only use our disobedience and gatherings as an excuse to enforce more restrictions like strict curfew laws or increased surveillance. Pretty soon, this will all be normal and our kids will grow up in a dystopia that really has been planned all along. It's not something that's randomly just happening when you turn on the news. The more that we physically fight this, the more we give our controllers what they wanted all along, and they're just going to keep planting ringleaders to make it look like we're violent. It's all just manipulated from beginning to end. Truth be told though, the system is not broken. It was built inherently flawed on purpose. Ask yourself, if Black Lives Matter, why do we pay taxes that fund the guns and bullets of police and military that kill black people both home and abroad? See, there's no need to protest, but just live your beliefs, because the only one ever hammering in any controversy is the mainstream media. If equality is common sense, then there is no reason to let the state rile you up for something that is so obvious. Just show it in your everyday life, and there's no need to get the government's stamp of approval or to get politicians to go along with your perspectives as an individual. Who cares what governors, senators, or congressmen think or do? Just ignore them and live your life. Whenever you do get a president or prime minister on your side, or when a bill is passed or laws instated, then force is utilized to get everyone else to comply. We must end that sort of civilized world where coercion, whether it be through fines, imprisonment, or even death, is the answer. Just like the virus, which I can't say the name of because when you speak the truth, then you get banned. We are adults and we don't need to ask for government permission or have some state officials tell us what to do according to their manipulated scientific numbers and models. Every time you give attention to the news, it is like you're on the Truman Show, along with all the others who watch it, and you don't know that's all confined to a script, a pre-designed culture, and altogether a fake reality. Because you blindly take the word of hand-picked experts and professionals working for profit-seeking corporations. You are unknowingly a participant in a psychological operation happening worldwide that gets viewers to conform and give their time, energy, and money to a hierarchical system that is the true cause of all the problems in the world due to those who oversee and corrupt it. We have to understand that government does not act through our ability to volunteer in a peaceful society, but essentially is just brute force. And if it did not use it, then none would respect it. And in my first book, I describe how war is the ultimate show of force. That way, the elite bankers, which are the reigning kings and queens, if you didn't know, will always orchestrate wars to ensure that their puppet governments will continue to exist. So far, if you think I'm crazy or that I'm the enemy, then they have succeeded, because there are only two sides made up of us that are all equal and the eugenics regime that think themselves superior and organize our lives from birth until death. What I'm attempting to relay to you is a feeling every rational human being has when they put their foot down and yell, "No, I'm not going to put up with this. Enough is enough." You can tell yourself to stay positive, but the truth is neither positive nor negative, and is the only vehicle that can be used to make real change. All that history is comprised of is populations going about in circles, addressing the effects, but never looking at the cause. What this YouTube channel and my books will do is throw off the limitations and constraints that have been put on you. If we do not, then eventually we'll find ourselves surrounded by tyrannical communism for our safety and protection, of course. Because when we turn on the news, we will obey whatever the politicians tell us and believe the network anchor when he declares, "We're blessed to live under a free nation." We all choose different ways to fight the same battle. Logic and reason are mine. Anyone can do a quick internet search and discover who the elite families are, but my message on this platform will be dedicated to predictive programming and concealed meanings behind film and literature that many may overlook and say, "That was a good movie," or "That was an interesting story." And can you imagine if that were really to happen? Wink, wink. My critique will offer a deeper interpretation for how and why they are moving forward with a preset agenda, as is evident through their piles of subtle and overt clues. All of which I'll prove from various sources, not just one, like the news, and encourage you to do your own research as well. You can follow, subscribe, like, I don't really care. My purpose at this time is to spread awareness. I genuinely do care for each of you, but honestly, this is still a selfish labor of love, because a better earth for all of us means a better chance of survival for me as well. So I just want to sincerely thank you, and I hope you enjoy my work.